Hello, explorers.
He forgot how to go live when it says go live
at the top. It is Wednesday, October 2nd, just after 5 o'clock Pacific time.
We're already in October. That's kind of scary.
It is. And
get it scary, October, Halloween. There you go.
8 o'clock Eastern time.
But a bum.
We're having like two separate conversations here. Welcome everyone who's joined us. Thank you so much. We are excited to be back. We just came back from an exciting cruise that we are excited to share the vlogs with, but also discuss today what we are doing. And what are you doing? You're not even part of the show.
I am part of the show.
You're in Neverland.
No, I'm looking at everything here.
We will talk about who's here in a minute, but Rob, I just noticed that you said happy belated birthday. So thank you. This was a birthday cruise for me. Unfortunately, it was on my last day. It was on
you
29th
had a whole cruise
to celebrate
for your birthday, so don't feel sorry for him.
Don't feel sad for me, no. But thank you so much, Rob. We had a great time on it, and hopefully you'll learn more about it. All right, Greg. So we are going to start off by greeting those who are in the chat with us today.
So we have RobFuz,
Rob,
Cruising with Wheels,
Cruising with Wheels,
Danny McGlone.
Danny McGlone.
Are you going to do this the whole time?
Sure, why not?
Oh my gosh. Dave and Brandy's Excursions.
Dave and Brandy's Excursions.
I hope your voice holds out. Denise Algazi.
Denise Algazi.
Wow. Orlando Parks Rover.
Orlando Parks Rover.
Sharon at Sea.
Sharon at Sea.
Ruth Voorhees.
Ruth Voorhees.
Dina Cruising Through Life.
Dina
I
Cruising
can't read.
Through Life.
Blake AM. Michelle Phillips.
Blake
if I didn't say that.
Michelle Phillips.
PTV2. Ben from
Ben PTV2.
from Pepper Tree. Okay, I don't know what you're on right now. I didn't do it, just so you know. I didn't give him anything. More sunshine, please. Welcome back, Jim says. Thank you. Rockin' Robin. Oh, awesome. Gail Parrish. Gail, I hope you're feeling better. Poor thing was getting sick when she was waiting for her plane also.
You say Kay Atwood?
Pam's fam. I don't think I said Kay Atwood yet. But Kay Atwood, MLB Destinations. I did say that. Really? Wow. Okay. You're making me digress because I don't know where we're at. Mike Wheeler and Dave A. Hey, Dave. We hung out with Dave a lot on the cruise, so that was pretty fun.
And also Cruising with Wheels.
Yes, we did. You don't let me. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, Avery, the Cuban American. And I think we're all caught up. So welcome to the show.
All perps are sponsored by D&G Explorers. Thank you, Avery. All right. So welcome, everyone. Thank you. And we had our cat visit us. Hi, Scout. You'll see him probably shortly in a little bit.
I saw something from Cruising with Wheels. I don't know what they called us. Something.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum?
No, I don't know. I'll find it. Keep talking.
Okay. Well, first of all, we want to say thank you to...
Oh, he said hi, Burger Boys. Booger Boys.
Say Burger Boys?
Oh, probably because we keep blowing our nose.
Oh, you. So thank you. We want to say several things, but Cruising with Wheels, it was awesome cruising with them on the ship. On the ship, as well as they were on the wheels. But they were awesome to meet in person. You guys will see in the vlogs, but they helped us.
They helped make the cruise very special.
So thank you.
Wow.
Adventures of David and Aaron. Thank you guys so much.
It's like our brains are in sync.
They're not here yet, but they did give us a prize in our room, as well as Cruising with Wheels. It was a gift.
They gave us a big fruit basket, which was really cool.
It was awesome. So thank you guys so much. We were like really, whenever you get something like that, you don't expect it. And it was very humbling and nice to see it. So it really helped make our cruise.
We got some chocolate strawberries and some
champagne.
And not champagne, it was wine.
Wine.
And champagne, like some chocolate tart type of things. I don't remember champagne.
We did.
But there was so much alcohol. I didn't even plan on drinking, and I think I ended up drinking every day because there was that much wine that was given to us, which was really nice. So I think I had like a glass a day or something.
A glass? Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Matt Lake, welcome, Matt Lake.
Welcome.
I think we're all caught up now.
Pam's fam, welcome.
My voice is a little rough right now because I've been coughing and stuff. So I think every time we go on a vacation, it always seems to happen. And I took a lot of airborne the week before, and then you get on the ship and it's washy-washy with sanitizer. So I'm sure that's like going in your bloodstream and everything, and that can't be good for you all the time.
Hold on one sec. Hey Siri, set an alarm for 5:30 p.m.
You couldn't.
Okay, it's on.
There we go.
You couldn't just do that.
No.
You had to like
I have to press too many buttons.
make a big announcement. Danny McGlone is here. Welcome. Noah the Disney World fan 16, and I think we're all Denise El Ghazi. D&G, do you drink less on a Disney cruise? I don't think we don't drink that much anyway.
On a Disney cruise,
Michelle
really,
Phillips,
we just have usually the drink of the day, and that's usually it, and that's usually for dinner. But on the Bliss and the Escape, which are the NCL ships, we have the drinking package on the Bliss. We didn't go on the Bliss, but we're
wearing our Norwegian shirts.
Yeah, they didn't have Escape shirts, which I was disappointed because I would have gotten one.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I thought there were 2 shirts we were looking at, but we never bought them.
No, they were like Canadian ones.
Thank you, Matt Lake, for the comment.
So they didn't have anything. So we went support Norwegian because they supported us. And
thank you, Mike Wheeler.
This was it.
Domingos Carew came on here. Mike said, get a teaspoon of pure honey and let it dissolve in your mouth slowly, and it will help with your sore throat. It's not really sore, but thank you. That'll help with the hoarseness from coughing. Matt Lake said, I've seen all the pictures. Looked like an amazing time. You both deserve it. Thank you very much. Didn't you go to the $10 sale? We saw some Escape shirts there. Cruising with Will said.
Oh,
we didn't do that. It was like a giant garage sale in the middle of whatever that shopping center was. That was a madhouse.
Yeah, they actually had several going on, but we didn't even think of to look there, to be honest.
Cat Chat Fever, welcome. Mary Ellen Shaw, welcome.
Captain Akron 27, welcome. Dominguez Carew asked, how was
thank you.
The arcade? We did actually go into the arcade. We had heard it was an 18 and under, but
so there was a sign that said something about 18 and plus free zone, meaning to me that means, okay, you can't go in there if you're over 18, but
there was no one in there.
We went in there and we actually saw 2 grown adults walking out, and I thought, okay, I guess we can go in. So then we went in and I paid like $1.79 and played a game of air hockey with Dave, even though I beat him the game, but it was still fun.
But we did vlog it a little bit. It's small. It's not a very big arcade, but there's some fun games that they had there. And then each one had an individual cost that you had to pay, depending on it. Some were like $1.35. Some of them
were odd numbers.
Yeah,
that you just swipe your card and it charges
$2.37. It was kind of weird how they determined what the price would be on that. Karen Carter said, glad to see you all enjoyed your cruise.
Dave A., I'm going to give you a rematch one of these days.
So
we'll
try our best to stay on track today, guys. But we are going to discuss how our cruise was, highlights of it. We definitely vlogged a lot. We're still trying to decide, are we going to do kind of longer videos, which we don't really like to do. Longer meaning just over 20 minutes, or maybe make them a little bit shorter. So it just depends on how the content flows per day. For us to I don't really want to put a 15-minute video out if there's really nothing too exciting to that video. So I'm still determining how I'm going to edit that portion of it.
Couple things really quick. So I told Frank from Cruising with Wheels, we're going to go on a diet when we get back from the cruise. And he said, everybody always says that and they never go through with it. We will go on a diet. We will go back to the gym. But then, of course, it's Halloween season, and we went to Walgreens, and wouldn't you know it, we came back with things that we didn't really plan on buying. So just to get in the Halloween spirit really quick, I bought these the other day, pumpkin cheesecake cookies. That's a good diet, right? Oreo Boo cookies. Can't go wrong with that. And they actually make Cadbury Halloween eggs.
They've had those for a couple of years.
It's like green slime inside kind of filling. It tastes really good, actually. And then we got the candy corn, of course. And then the pumpkin spice or those original Chewies. And then also M&Ms. So I was supposed to hold this up, but this is our old Disney popcorn bucket from years back. But yeah, that's just a digress really quick, showing that we're definitely going to be going on a diet probably after the holidays.
And it looks like we have another visitor. Sierra decided to join us, although you're not seeing the best side of her. Sierra, turn around. There you go. So Rachel, Mini Explorer, I saw you pop in. There is your visit from one of our cats, Sierra. We also had, there's Chris and Jen warning. So, warning after Halloween. So
Chris and Jen, we did meet them on the cruise. They're awesome.
Joanna Ballas, who we met on the NCL Bliss. She asked, did we enjoy our cruise? Cruise? Yes, we did. Definitely.
Rachel wants some of the yummy goodies that we have.
And this is in addition to the stuff that we had and bought on our travels to the ports. But one of the things I want to say, you guys, is RobFuz doesn't normally do cruising stuff, but he's been releasing vlogs. He's now gone on 2 cruises, and it was cruises with Bon Jovi. They were specialty cruises.
That's awesome.
And he's been releasing the first one, which was on the NCL Jade. And then the next one is going to be on the Pearl. The cruise is already done, so he's just been releasing the first one. He released the 3rd vlog. So if you guys haven't already, definitely check out and support RobFuz. He's a big supporter of us. He helps me out with technology and questions. So definitely, if you guys haven't checked them out, him out, his channel.
Cat Chat Pearson, might as well just say January 1st. There were some other people that came in. Now I got to find it. Rockin' Robin, Brian Makowicz, if I said that right. Rachel, RobFuz biggest fan.
It's Mini Explorer.
Yep. Rob Rihol. Arjons. And I think we're caught up now.
All right.
We did have our premiere video last Wednesday. I was actually watching some of it at work. I couldn't watch it all, but I'll watch it later, and we hope that everybody enjoyed it. We were kind of talking in the future tense, if that's even a
Past
term,
future,
where we were talking like how we thought it would be, which it was even better than what we even said on the video. It was just it was an awesome, fun trip. So
welcome, Martine St. Laurent.
We're going to get down to it and start talking about it.
Yes, and also one last thing. Thank you guys for all the shout outs for my birthday. I really appreciate it. I'm still trying to answer stuff on Facebook that I haven't really had a chance to do, but I really appreciate all the kind words and thoughts of you guys thinking about me on my birthday. All right, so our cruise was on the NCL Escape, and it went from out of New York. So obviously we had to travel. Now, when we went on the Bliss, we had a horrific time getting to Miami, the port of Miami. And I didn't really think that things were going to be bad. You don't normally expect bad travel.
It wasn't bad going there.
We had our issues on the way home, which I guess if you're going to have any issues, it's better on the way home than going over there.
It wasn't with our luggage though, which it was lucky that we didn't have any luggage issues.
So one of the
actually no, we did have a luggage issue. Sorry, I'll take that back.
So one of the things that we were planning on doing is meeting up with people in New York, and we stayed on the island. I think it was in Hell's Kitchen is where we stayed at, but it was only 10 minutes away from the cruise port walking.
Just wants attention.
So it was super close. It wasn't that far away, and it wasn't that far from Times Square. So we were able to meet up with three people. We met up with
Thomas
Henry, Sylvia, and Lance, who on the YouTube is known as Cool Jazz. Unfortunately, we weren't able to meet with Danny McGlone and NYC Rocks, which we were so hoping for, but there will always be time in the future that we will be able to meet up with you guys. But that was fun for us still to go. And we were amazed. We had never been to, where are you
I thought there was supposed to be another one that we were going to meet, and it didn't work.
Well, Paul Wilgus was a possibility, but we weren't able to do it. But we had never been to the city before.
Her name is Sierra Rachel. She's asking what the cat's name is.
She's trying to steal the show right now. But I was amazed with New York. When they say a city that never sleeps, we were probably down in the city between 11 and 11:30, and it was packed. We went live on Facebook, and it was more packed and active than being in Las Vegas. And we were out until probably 1 o'clock is when we had to call it quits, because we did have to get up early the next day. But I felt safe, but it was crazy. We went to a Disney store, and I was amazed. Like at 12 o'clock at night, there's lines of like 10 people in line waiting to check out. And I'm thinking, whoa, this is crazy. You're smiling.
Because you said you felt safe. I felt safe too, but then towards the end when we were on our way back, this really nice gentleman seemed to think that I needed to have this offered, and I'm Cruising with Wheels knows where I'm going, I'm sure. But he came up to me and said, "Hey, you want some crack?" And all I said was nope, and I walked away. And I thought, I guess I'm broken into New York now. I was asked if I wanted crack. I guess he thought I needed crack or something. So yeah, not into that. So it was just funny.
So it was great to see. You can see a whole lot in terms of the buildings. We were hoping possibly to get to the Freedom Tower, but it was, to be honest, way too far for us, and we didn't have a whole lot of time. So we really just went through parts of where they had the Broadway shows, the streets that had that.
Hey, Pepper Tree Villa.
But we were able to walk around and just enjoy New York, and we went out and had Bear Burger was the name of it.
Orlando Parks Rover, welcome.
Yeah, that was Kevin. I think he was on here earlier too. So it was cool just to experience a little bit. And now I know next time if we sell out of New York, I think we'll try to spend a full day to experience more.
Thank you, Cruising with Wheels.
What did they say?
They said you two are too cute with the number twos. Laugh out loud. Love seeing NYC through your eyes. Especially when I was asked if I wanted drugs.
Yeah. But when we went to the cruise port.
Welcome, Karen Carter. You're never late. And Avery, the Cuban American. Thank you.
The Freedom Tower, it used to be called that. Now it's just One World Trade. Thank you, Avery. So it was cool to sell out of New York because you see we were able to see the buildings we wanted to. Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building, the
a lot of people are still they call it the Freedom Tower, and I didn't think it was a working building. But then somebody said parts of it were offices, and then at the very top were like apartments or something. That one guy was telling us some story, but it was just emotional, the whole thing. So
that and sailing past the Statue of Liberty, I had a feeling it was going to be emotional. Just this one of the
Lady Liberty was awesome.
You have to see and experience, and when you see it for the first time, to me it was overwhelming. I got teary-eyed. I watched the video, and luckily it was windy, so you guys aren't going to hear what we were saying. So that probably won't be in the vlog, but
we weren't saying anything bad.
But I got choked up during that part just because it is so special to go through. So
and we saw her again coming back in the morning when it was still dark, so she was lit up. Got up
at 4 o'clock in the morning specifically, so we would see Statue of Liberty lit up, pass through under the Verrazano Bridge. So we wanted to see that.
That was crazy. It was like right there in your face, 3D.
Which marks the beginning
and the end.
And the end of the cruise. And then just seeing the city lit up at night was special on that.
It's not a commercial building. It's all commercial building, no residents. Okay. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm looking at it. Katie Burr is here. Welcome, Katie. Thank you so much. So we went.
Thank you, Jim.
How are we doing on time? 5:20. Okay.
We're fine. Don't worry about the time.
So our first full day was a sea day, which we always like sea days. It was tough on this one.
My favorite. I love sea days
because we actually had 4 ports that we went to, and it was pretty port intensive because after your one sea day, we went to 4 ports in a row, and then we had a final sea day, and then we came back home.
Well, we only did 1 excursion per day, though, which made it easier.
And this is probably the star of our vlogs. This is called the Suhek Norwegian Escape Finder. And
it came in handy.
It came in very handy. And as you can see, it's now grown to be very thick, which more than I thought it would be. But
Joanna Ballast, welcome.
This was something that I used to help keep track of what was going on a day-to-day basis, but also receipts. My plans for the vlogs are to I have all the receipts and to come out and what is the final cost of the cruise. So that is one of the things we're looking at. So I have a lot of stuff that I have to do. Hopefully the vlogs will be coming out next week, if not the week after, because I just want to make sure I have all my information correct before we start releasing some of the stuff.
We haven't started the cruise vlogs yet, Orlando Park Shore.
Yeah, they'll probably start coming next week.
Excuse me.
So the sea day, we really didn't do a whole lot. We just got adjusted to it. The first night we ate at, that was one of our specialty restaurants. We ate at Bayamu, the Blue, Ocean Blue. I try always say something different. Bayamu by Ocean Blue. And I enjoyed it more on the Escape than I did on the Bliss. I don't remember what I had at this moment. Do you remember?
I had a snapper.
I'd have to look at my pictures of it. You had a snapper on both the Escape and the Bliss?
I think so. It was a different snapper though.
I do know that
I don't know what you had.
It was a lot more enjoyable on the Escape than what we had on the Bliss. And that was, I think, a good choice. We were at first, we didn't want to do a specialty
we didn't do
restaurant
a drink package this time.
No, because we wanted to see how much we would spend on it, and if it was
we
worth
ended
it.
up not needing the drink package really anyway.
Yeah, that's true. NYC Rocks joined us. Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining us. And then we didn't really do a whole lot on the sea day. We just kind of relaxed, got adjusted to it. I don't even think we went out and did a specific show on it. But our first port day that we were at is, as I look at my little board up here, our first day was in Portland, Maine. So we did
that was beautiful out there.
Yeah, we did a tour on a horse-drawn carriage.
Not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be just us 3, like in a horse-drawn carriage with the driver. It was like a big hayride for a haunted hayride thing or something with a bunch of people, and that was fine too. We got to meet 2 cool people. His name is Vern, and the other Kevin. Vern and Kevin. They're from New York, I think, right? So, and then we saw them throughout the cruise. But they were nice to talk with. It was a good tour.
So let's, before we get into it, let's do a chat check. Chat check, brought to you by More Sunshine, Please.
Oh, you didn't come up with new material. More sunshine, please. Life is but a dream.
Life is but a dream.
So I've been checking in the chat.
MLB Destinations joined us. Thank you so much.
Excuse me. Go ahead.
Danny, is it Denise? Let us know so we don't pronounce your name wrong. I'm so sorry. How much was it? It was $59, but Norwegian offers free at sea offers. Sometimes you can get all of them, like they've been offering on the one, because we are going to be selling on the Encore. They offered all of them for us. On this cruise, we were only offered 2. So since we were traveling with my mom, we decided to do the $50 off per stateroom per port or excursion that we chose, and then the 3 restaurants of our specialty dining restaurants. Those are the 2 free at sea options. So in a sense, Greg and I got $25 off per excursion since it was $50 per stateroom. So that $59 was a lot less than that. So that's what we decided to do. So overall, not a bad cost for it. And I definitely think it was worth $59. I'm sorry, Sierra. Yes. Portland, Maine was actually more surprising. I hadn't seen a whole lot about it, but with the exception of the fact that the trolley didn't look like a old horse and buggy thing, I thought it was a fun cruise. We learned a lot about the city. I didn't know the city was so active, and they had a lot of interesting things. Plus, we went on, I'm a huge train enthusiast, and we were able to go on a narrow gauge train, which the entrance is right when you get off the cruise port. So we were able to enjoy going on a train, which was, I think for 3 of us, my mom was a senior, it was $27, I think, for 3 of us to go on it wasn't a very long train ride. They basically take you out to the middle of nowhere, you get off the train, you can take pictures, and then they take you back on it. But they do discuss the history of it.
Nobody's listening to us. They're all into the kitty.
Sierra.
They're saying, "Oh, kitty."
This is why we normally have the doors shut when we are live, because the cats want to be with us.
Yeah, but we've been gone for like about a week, so they've really been needy lately. Every port that we went to was ravaged by fire. Just to let you guys know, Portland, Maine had what, 4 fires?
It was destroyed 4 times.
4 times. By the 4th time, they said we got it right. They started building buildings by brick instead of wood. And then we were in Bar Harbor.
That was destroyed.
That had fire. And then Halifax had a fire.
That was an explosion.
And a fire.
And St. John had the fire. Halifax had a explosion.
Oh yeah, the ships hit each other and then caused an explosion that went, I don't know how many blocks out, but people were kids were on their way to school, and all these people were gathering around watching it, and then the thing blew up. So I don't know how many people made it out of that, but it was just like horrendous.
2,000 perished. It was the largest man-made disaster before the atom bombs.
Yeah.
So it was pretty.
I mean, the places are beautiful, but the history was very sad. I think I liked Bar Harbor the best. I thought actually Bar Harbor was the best port for me. It was beautiful. I would live there if I could. At first I said Portland, Maine, and then I saw Bar Harbor, and I'm like, forget Portland, Maine. I'd rather be in Bar Harbor. You thought Bar Harbor was the best port too, didn't you?
Bar Harbor, from the vlogs that I've seen, I thought Bar Harbor was the prettiest, most coolest looking town, and I think it was. It was almost like the Carmel of California.
Welcome, Cargo. Welcome, So Tweety. And thank you for your comments, So Tweety.
Robert from Life with Favor. Welcome so much, guys. I appreciate you guys joining us. It's always nice to see both Disney and cruising channels on this site. Yep.
Trying to catch up with everybody. I hope we don't leave anybody out.
We are coming up to, we're at a stopping point. We're coming up on,
which you haven't even told me. I have no idea.
They're in here, so we'll have to wait until the music comes on.
I'll just look at your notes.
So
I still don't know what you didn't put it down.
Do I have anything special?
Oh, okay.
All right. While we're waiting time, waiting for it to appear, we did get something new that we wanted to share. And Greg, if you want to open that up.
I haven't even seen it yet. Have you opened it?
No. But we now have.
How am I supposed to open this without a knife?
Here it is. That could only mean one thing. It's time for Spotlight Channel.
I'll be right back.
All right. So the Spotlight Channel of the week, and this is Spotlight Channel number 24 for us. We've been doing this for 6 months already, so it's been a while. Our Spotlight Channel is Sharon at Sea. They are an awesome channel, and they've been kind enough to be on our channel about a couple of months ago. They are also kind enough to include us in Jamie from Sharon at Sea has created a fantasy football league on ESPN. I am embarrassed to say that my team is 0-4, the DisLyfeOfOurs Explorers. It's okay, girl. But we are having fun, and I always say, even though we're 0-4, everyone leaves happy because they have a drink, even though today it's just water on it. But thank you, Sharon at Sea, for everything that you do. If you guys haven't seen Sharon at Sea, they have tons of video, great content. They are doing group cruises. They have some coming up with La Lita Loca besides on their own. And they're just an awesome channel and great friends of ours. So definitely check out Sharon at Sea. If someone could put their stuff in there. More sunshine, please. Thank you so much for mentioning our Dilly Dilly shirts, which you actually created for us. So we are thank you for that.
So we are thank you.
We are thank you. So thankful for that. Thank you, Pepper Tree Villa. It's 5:30 is what RobFuz says. All right, so this
is the first time seeing it, but this is, as styrofoam keeps falling, this is the ship that we sailed on. You can actually see the cool designs of the
Guy
ship.
Harvey is the one that did the artwork on the ships, and that's one of the cool things I like about Norwegian are their how their ships are decorated. There was no go-karts on this. There was no laser tag.
No.
But they did have a ropes course and a bigger miniature golf area at the top. The ropes course also had some zip lines in it, and they also had a plank that if you were in trouble, you can walk the plank. And this is in comparison to the Norwegian Bliss that we went on. They are part of the same class. They hold about 4,000 passengers, even though the NCL Escape holds about 200 more. But it's also about 3 years older.
Have a good night, Trina Ballas.
Joanna, thank you so much for joining us.
Nurse Nancy is here.
Hey, welcome. Thank you. So what else?
Bob and Ashley is here. Hey, Bob and Ashley.
Welcome, guys. The other ports that we went to was...
Oh, they're sick. Oh, no. I hope you guys feel better. I think it's going around. We've been having congestion and stuff, too. But anyone that's been sick, hope you feel better.
You said they are sick. Who are you talking about?
Bob and Ashley.
Oh, sorry, guys.
They got up to take cold medicine. I'm thinking it's Bob, but it could be both of them that are sick.
So our other ports that we went to, Bar Harbor was the second port, and it's the only...
Bar Harbor.
Bar Harbor. It's the only port we had a tender in. So if you're not sure what a tender is, it means the ship cannot go to a dock by the port. It has to stay in the water. And in our case, they did have some larger kind of taxis come and unload it. That was mainly for the people who had, like us, who had excursions booked through NCL. The other ones, it was the lifeboats that they got into. Yeah. And they took them out to...
We took the nice one there. We were up the top in the cold, like 50-something degrees. And then coming back, we were in the lifeboat, which we've never been in a lifeboat before, so it was kind of cool.
And we say it's cold because when we left, it was in the 90s. And actually, the week before that,
pretty cold
it was
on
in
that water.
The hundreds. Yeah, it had gotten to 100 here in Central California. That was, I would probably say...
Bob. Sorry, Bob. Hope you feel better.
That was our best port that we visited. Besides the town being quaint, we were able to try a few things. We did a bus tour when we went through the Acadia National Park.
That was beautiful.
We met some people that we took pictures of. We took a lot of pictures with different people that we're going to post their photos throughout there.
Who did we meet on the bus?
Well, that was the one where you went down to the bottom of the sea, and I stayed up there, and it was...
I went to the bottom of the sea?
You went all the way to the bottom of the sea. It was Judy, Pat, and another one that I wrote their names down. I can't think of their name right now.
Oh, when I went through the tunnel of the trees and everything without you,
to the rocks, yeah.
You were talking, and I said you have to come see this, but then we ran out of time.
And we only stopped at 2 locations on that bus tour, but the bus locations were really good. And then we went to a lobster bake, and I thought we were going to go to a restaurant. We didn't go to the restaurant that I thought it was.
It's not even what I thought it was going to be, the lobster bake.
It actually took us down to where we basically got onto the bus, but it was a little bit like maybe a half mile away. And they served us a full lobster with
A whole lobster,
potato, corn on a cob,
two big potatoes,
and a blueberry tart.
Yeah, and the lobster, you pick it up and its little things are hanging and its antlers and everything. And I was teaching people how I pulled mine apart and ate it, but I thought lobster bake was like lobster and cheese and stuff, like a casserole. I didn't think it was going to be like what it was, but it was cool.
He thought he was literally going to put the lobster in the hot
No,
water.
I did not. I couldn't do that. You asked me if we would be able to do something like that, or somebody said something about it, and I said I can't do that.
So that was our first East Coast lobster bake, and it was actually really good. We were happy with that. The only down part of it is it was $149. Our advice is, now that we know, book your excursion
Antennas, Dave,
by calling the cruise line, because when you call the cruise line and book your excursions, you don't have to pay at that moment. You don't have to pay until you're on the ship. If you do it online, because you can do them anywhere from 90 to 120 days before the cruise. If you do it online, you have to pay on the spot through the internet. We didn't have the money because we had put separate down payments down on 2 cruises that we had. So we didn't have a whole lot of free money, but it was only $99 at the time. And as it got closer to the end, it jumped up to $50. It jumped up per person. So that was our only thing that we would recommend, if you guys, at least through NCL, to call and book your appointments, unless you want to pay upfront. If you guys have the money for that, we obviously didn't. That was the only downside of that. I don't know if it was worth $150. $99 definitely, but just for the experience of it. And then I got this wild idea, if I can say it.
Oh, I heard you say it was Waddle Dee or something.
I thought, wait a minute, let's try lobster ice cream.
Oh my God!
So Kevin from Cruising with Wills was still out and about in the town, and I said, we are on a hunt for lobster ice cream. So he goes, I want to try some too. So we met up with them. They do. I Googled it. I found a place. It was called Ben and something's Chocolatarium or something.
Disney Nerd Herd has already said yuck. You might think it's yuck, but wait.
Yeah. It actually, you just taste vanilla ice cream. It's a very strong vanilla ice cream.
It's like lobster meat in vanilla ice cream. Because you take a bite and you're chewing the ice cream, and all of a sudden you start chewing more, but you're chewing the lobster meat, basically.
It's kind of like icy chewing.
Yeah. And then it kind of thaws, and then you're eating the meat, and it's a little salty with vanilla ice cream. I had one taste, and I gave the rest to Derek because he wanted it more than I did. So yeah, I let him enjoy it.
Dave and Brandy said, I think they're up against us this weekend for football. You guys are favored to win over us. So we're consistent. We might be 0-5 this week. But what else did we do? We got...
well, you almost had poor Kevin fall off a cliff when you were texting him, because he mentioned that. And he said, I almost fell off a cliff. And I said, you probably did it because you were texting him and you were, distracting him. And sure enough, when he came up to see us, you were texting me and I almost fell off a cliff. And some lady had to pull me really quick.
So this is what we got in Bar Harbor. We tried to get something a little bit in everyone, but I thought that was kind of cool and unique. Obviously, that's not the Norwegian Escape. It's just a ship, but I thought it would be cool for a little memento to remember the ship that we went on.
What else did you get?
Well, we'll look at that a little bit later, depending on the time.
Well, why don't you just look at it now? You're already showing stuff.
Well, that's part of the other cards.
That you didn't show me. So I'm not in the know, I guess.
So then we went to our first Canadian town. And our whole purpose of that, not whole purpose, but one of the things we were looking for, my mom loves British fish and chips. She's British. But we wanted to compare what Canadian fish and chips, to see if there was really that much of a difference. at least on the dock that we stopped at, and for the most part, I think that's the most common one, unless there's multiple ships in port that day. Right where the ship docked, across the street from that, was a place called Steamers, which is pretty well known. And we had amazing lobster rolls. We had lobster rolls also in Portland, Maine,
but
I
these
didn't
were
like them as
better.
much. Yeah, and
These actually had mayo, like where
a little bit of mayo.
Yeah, they weren't as dry.
And in Portland, Maine, they basically, it's a piece of bread that they kind of fold over. In Canada, St. John's, they have it in a roll. And then I tried Moosehead beer, which is specifically for Canada. They brew it there in St. John's.
I think I had a sip. I didn't like it.
And it was good. I mean, it wasn't bad. So a couple of the Canadian flavors that we wanted. And in that day, we also did...
Ruth, I did have lobster mac and cheese at one time.
What did we do that day? It was... Oh.
We walked around the shopping area.
Yeah,
Mom sat down and we walked around the mall area that used to be like some other thing that they turned into a mall.
But we had another tour. We had a city tour on that.
Did we?
St. John's highlights. That's right. It was because the guy was dressed up in kind of like a
well, that was after
colonial time. We did that first. We did the steamers afterwards.
Yeah, that we did the lunch after.
And we were able to went to
the reverse falls.
That's
twice.
Right. The reversing falls
because the tide was getting lower. So the ship actually was. I don't know if I really noticed it, but he said the ship was lowering because our ship because the water was lowering because the tide was going out. And then later on, it would come back in, and of course, everything would rise up again.
And then we did. We stopped at a little, almost like a farmer's market, a city market, I think they called it, which is really cool because it slopes down from one street to the next, and it's down a hill, so it slopes, but the roof is straight, but it gives an appearance that the roof isn't straight. And it looks like the inside of a ship, like you're looking up to the bottom of the ship, if that makes sense.
Are you talking about
the city market?
That's the one that we did with the lobster bake. No, it's not.
No.
That's okay,
where
I know what you're talking about.
That's where Mom got the ginger candy, and you got...
And I got the something donuts. I don't remember the name of them now.
And then also, they had English candy there. And one of the things, this is... Cargo told me that I should try a coffee crisp. This is it, if I can find it. But the British candy that we haven't had in a long time is Cadbury Flake. Those are good to put in with ice cream. And then also got Fry's orange cream because I love orange cream candy. And then, it's called Ben and Bill's Chocolate Emporium. In that, I got some orange milk chocolate truffles, and then also I like ginger, and these are ginger milk chocolate ginger. They're like jelly inside of that, so those are good too. My mouth is watering just thinking about that.
Didn't even know you got those. What are those?
They're ginger. You want to try one? Don't worry, it's not going to bite you. And then so that was a good highlight in there. Cruising with Will said flakes are so good. Pepper Tree Villa said, I love Cadbury's flake. Christy Corners here. Thank you so much. Kay Atwood, I think we said hello earlier. Welcome. Stacy Rogers, welcome. And then we went to our next, you don't look like you like it. More for me. Then we went to...
It's very overpowering.
Halifax, Nova Scotia. And we went on a duck boat. It's the amphibious boats that go into the water. So we did a part tour, and then we did, we went in the water and we went through the harbor. We sailed by the Canadian Navy. We learned a lot of the history of it, some of the disasters that had happened there. And then we went through the city, and the ship, the car, whatever you want to call it, was very, very loud. But then we went through, after that, we walked to where...
Hey, Shep family.
Welcome, Shep. The two things we wanted to try
that
was...
ginger was way overpowering.
Poutine. We asked Cargo said, we asked her, Cargo, what's the right way to say it? And she said it's Putin. We asked other people, and they kept on saying, well, whenever it was brought up, they were always saying poutine. So we asked the vendor that was there in the market, and they said, well, you can either call it Putin or poutine.
I'm not calling it
but
the first one.
They like the sound of poutine better. So, but Greg usually calls
I do not.
He'll say it like the moose story that we heard.
That you made up.
Poutine. So when he went to order it, he
yes.
said, can I have some poutine?
Yeah,
And they kind of looked at him like, okay, who is this weird person from? And then we had
Don't listen to him.
a beaver tail. So it's a little bit different than I thought. Well, first of all, what did you think of
Wildflower Memories? Welcome, Krusty's Corner. There's people coming in, so I gotta welcome them really quick. Stacy Rogers.
You're calling out the people I did.
Oh, okay. Well, there's other people that were coming on, but go ahead.
What did you think of? So Putin, however you want to pronounce it, is basically chips or French fries with gravy
and cheese
curds on it. Cheese curds part doesn't sound that appetizing, but what did you think of it?
I think, well, we each got our own. I think it would have saved money and would have been worth it just to get one because it was so much we didn't finish it. But it was good. It kind of reminded me of like KFC mashed potatoes with gravy, really, and then cheese curds.
And then we went and
I think it was kind of salty though too.
No more than maybe 20 steps away was the beaver tail that we had. And the beaver tail is a flat piece of bread that doesn't rise, and it's fried.
Welcome, Al Galloway. And Sea Rocks.
It was really, I actually you could tell that it was fried. We had the triple treat or triple trip or something like that.
It was the same one that Cruising with Wheels had. It had like Reese's Pieces
chocolate
on it,
peanut butter,
like a what is it called? The Nutella spread. It was basically diabetes overload type of thing.
We did share that.
We cut it in half, and it was like so gooey and smushy. I'm not going to tell you what it looked like, but we ate it, and it was a lot. So triple trip is what Cruising with Wheels said. So
of our 4 ports,
they're rolling on the floor laughing.
The 3 of them, Josh Odom is here. Welcome. 3 of them were $59 minus.
For what now?
The excursions we went on in every port was $59, and one of them was $149, and that was the lobster bake one. So reasonable, I think, for a cruise. I mean, would we have saved money by not going through Carnival Norwegian? Definitely, we would have.
David A said he loves his simple classic beaver tail.
And David A, my mom on 2 of the excursions, she couldn't make it because she wasn't feeling good.
Yeah.
She didn't make it to the lobster bake, and she ended up eating the $149. And
no,
they didn't reimburse.
I thought they did.
Yeah, but mom didn't want to put up anything about it, so they didn't reimburse her for it, unfortunately.
I thought they did.
But in a sense,
wow,
she got $50 off of it because she was the only one in her room, so it was $99. And then on the second one, she didn't go in Halifax, which she had wanted to go on.
Gave it to Dave.
She gave it to Dave, so Dave became my mom. So he was Valerie for the day with the ticket. Well,
they didn't even look at the tickets. They just said, care. 3, okay, rip, here you go.
Yeah.
And so he could have gone on the other one too, but we didn't know, and we didn't know where he was either at the time.
Yeah, but I think the excursions were well done. I wasn't disappointed with any of them. I know on some of the excursions, with the exception of the carriage, us expecting a carriage, that was the only thing. But that was in Portland, Maine. It was still a good tour.
We did the duck boat also.
And we talked about that.
Did we?
Yeah. I don't know where you went in your mind, but we.
I don't know. Maybe when I went to get the scissors or something. You know what? Leave me alone. No.
All right. So let's talk about the ship, because I'm sure people are.
Disney Nerd Herders asked, "Did you guys see Oak Island?" I don't remember what Oak Island is.
Oak Island we saw is they have TV shows on it where there's supposed to be pirates' treasure, which is hidden there, and the island is booby trapped, and it's a curse of Oak Island. So they have like this well that has all
Is
these
this not a
different
story you're
things.
making, like the moose poutine thing?
No, I'm not. But we
The ship was really nice.
it was.
It was before the Bliss, so the Bliss actually kind of mimicked this one,
It's a sister ship.
but they're kind of different.
They are. In comparison, the two ships is almost like comparing Disneyland and Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World. They are very similar. They both have their Disneyland parks, but they have their own unique things with it too. I would say the restaurants on the Escape, I did enjoy more than the restaurants on the Bliss. The teppanyaki was once again, teppanyaki was my favorite on the Bliss. Teppanyaki was my favorite on the Escape. The filet mignon and what else did I get? A seafood thing. I forgot what I had. Both those
all at teppanyaki.
At the teppanyaki, because you could get different options.
Oh, so you got the surf and turf.
Yeah, I had shrimp and the filet mignon, and that was incredible. But that was also the day.
This time.
That was also the day that suddenly I had 4 drinks appear in front of me: the shaku shaku and the wasabi.
Yeah, I had 3. I ordered 1, and I got another one of the same, and then another one that I didn't like, which is why I didn't order it. But they were trying to be nice and give us more alcohol because they're like, no, here, it's free.
Robert says, was dining 2 hours like the Bliss? No, it's probably about an hour and a half.
Have a good night, Sharon. You're very welcome.
Yes, thank you guys. It was probably about an hour and a half. We had, on the nights we had the shows, which we saw the Choir of Man, which we highly recommend. We also saw After Midnight, which was good.
Okay.
I honestly fell asleep in it, but that was just because I was tired. It wasn't because it was boring. And when I woke up, it was kind of funny because I was asleep and I woke up and everyone was clapping. And what do? You wake up and start.
I was like, whatever, you were asleep.
He called me out on it. I was like, oh yeah, no, I wasn't asleep. That was good. Yeah. But it was after that wake up call. It was good. Al Galloway, who was the food, or how was the food?
Who was the food? Oh my God, we didn't eat people. It's not that kind of cruise.
But at 5:30, we had dinner reservations. The show was at 7:30, and by 6:50, we were on our way to the movie theater, the show theater. So it didn't take as long. The Escape, their staff was incredibly friendly. I've never had, on all the cruises we've been on, so this was my 5th cruise. I've never had, both of us were in the cabin, and there was a knock on the door. Greg opened it, and our steward named Miguel said, "Are you Derick?" And Greg goes, "No, I'm Gregory." He goes, "Oh, okay." Then he looked at me, he goes, "You must be Derick." I've never had a steward know our names beforehand, and to me that shows care. With me working in retail, when you know the name of people, it makes you feel more special. And that was just a hint of the service that Norwegian offers. And I had heard when we were on the Bliss, everyone was saying the Escape has been their best cruise, the best ship. Now I know why, because the service was just, they were friendly.
Go ahead.
No.
I was going to say the crowd of passengers was a lot different. It wasn't your typical party crowd. It was more mature, or I won't say older, but I mean, it was older, but it was a more mature group of people. They weren't like party people and stuff. Like the Bliss had more younger crowd that were party people. This one was a little bit of a mixture, but more on the older, mature side.
And I think a lot of that had to do with the itinerary and the time of the year that we were going. Canada is not one of the hot spots. Dave said that there was less than 80 people really nice, under 18. There was less than 80 people in there, but I think I heard someone else said it was even less than that. But we didn't see a lot of younger people. It was definitely an older crowd, and that was fine with us. We didn't.
Yeah, I mean, there were some young, but it was ranging up there.
I would say I would definitely want to take another Canadian cruise again in the future. But the
Gail Parrish called you out.
what's that?
Can we talk about your singing, Derick? Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Well, Gail Parrish, I have you on video also singing.
You're going to see Gail sing some songs, and also Cruising with Wills are going to be singing some songs.
I actually looked for music to sing, but then I didn't think it would be good for me to do it anyway because my nose was nasally and everything. But everything I looked for, they didn't have. It was not a very good catalog of music. It was more older music, which is fine, but I know music from hearing it. I can't look at the title and say, oh, I know that song. I have to either know that it's popular or hear it for the most part. So
and I ended up doing a song
like
by my favorite group, which is Erasure, and they actually had some pretty recent music from them. I did a song called Sacred, which was 2 albums ago. And
yeah,
I think
2 songs.
It came out in 2016, I think. So it's one of their more recent ones, but it is a higher
you did a good job.
Song that I wouldn't normally sing in that range. But I said, this is the first time I've done karaoke. I have to support the boys, so I'm going to sing an Erasure song. So I went ahead and did it. After I figured out what screen I should be looking at, because I started singing this way, I moved this way, I moved back.
You knew the song anyway.
Yeah, for the most part, I knew the song.
You did a good job.
It was good. So what did you think of the restaurants? We ended up having 4 specialty dining restaurants.
Yeah, we were only supposed to get 3, but we were invited to a special dinner on Saturday.
Yeah, for my birthday.
For your birthday.
Yeah. Thank you, Kevin, Cruising with Wills, for help getting that. And
Kevin and Frank.
And
they decorated our room too.
Yes, that was awesome.
Very colorful.
We also had we ate at a main dining room. We ate at the Manhattan, and then
it's
also
the same as the Bliss. Really.
Savor. We ate there too.
Savor and Taste are all the same.
And then we ate at Cagney's, which was really good.
That was the same layout also.
And then what was the other one? Teppanyaki, Bayama by Ocean Blue.
Yeah.
And so what was your favorite one?
Was it Minerva?
Maderno?
Minerva. Maderva or something.
Coochie Coochie or
no,
Coochie Mara.
That wasn't because on the Bliss they didn't have that. They had Cagney's and something else. I don't remember. But anyway.
Oh, and they had Los Lobos in the Bliss.
Okay.
And they switched it out with Maderno.
Okay.
Dave and Brandy, thank you guys so much for joining us. I know they are going to be going
Maderno.
They are going to be going on their first NCL cruise because they have basically cruised Carnival.
Where I got Minerva from.
And so definitely, I don't know when their cruise is coming up, but why are you picking my hair like a monkey?
No, you had like some white thingy on there.
So if you guys haven't, keep an eye on Dave and Brandy. They are still releasing videos from, I forgot what ship it is. My mind's all over the place right now with what ships people have been going on. But check their channel out and support Dave and Brandy's excursions. So what was your favorite restaurant? Because I don't think you answered me.
Teppanyaki was a little different than the Bliss. The scallops weren't as good this time for some reason. There was just a different taste to it. I enjoyed Cagney's more this time, I think, than I did on the Bliss. What is it called? Maderno. That one was nice too. But you could fill up so fast on the salad bar, and then you have the meat after that. So it's a
Brazilian style where they come by with that
meat because you're full already. Yeah,
they come out with the meat on a stick and they cut off the slices for you.
So probably those. We weren't too crazy about Margaritaville. They didn't have the bar open for some reason. But other than that, I think everything else was good. So,
what do you think of the service and the crew?
Oh, I think they were really nice. I felt bad because I thought we were taking advantage of them. They were being so nice. I thought we don't deserve this. Why are they doing what they're doing? So, but it just made it more special. I'm just not used to being treated that way. So, excuse me. but they were really friendly and very like huggy too. A lot of them hugged us and took pictures with us and were very friendly. So it was kind of like a Disney-ish type cruise where they kind of make you feel like a family. So that part was really nice.
I thought the service of the staff was just phenomenal. I was time and time again, I was amazed on how well we were treated. And it just floored me. They were,
have a good night, Karen Carter.
They were over the top good. So I would say this was my best cruise by far. This was my best cruise.
Even over Disney?
I would say this was my best cruise by far. So much happened that made this special. There's a lot of special memories on here. You know, the fact that this was cruising with my mom, which I've never gone on a cruise with her before, with her being a part of it. The people that we met on there, cruising with Wills. There's so many people that we met up on here. Chris and Jen, David A., who we hung out with earlier, Gail Parrish, who's on here. The list can go on in terms of the people that we met up, and it was just a special cruise for me. I would recommend going, and I was a little hesitant on going on the Escape only because it is a little bit older, and I was a little bit hesitant going onto that. But comparing the Bliss to the Escape, I would either go on either one of them again in the future, but I would be very excited to go on to the Escape again. I definitely would want to go back on to that ship.
And I know that I was saying stuff about mojitos. Not once did I have a mojito on that ship.
You had one.
I had no mojitos.
Really?
Never went to the sugarcane bar. Never. We went by it all the time. Never had myself a mojito.
Wow, we got to go back on there. Denise Algazi said,
but all the wine made up for it.
Vince Clarke from Erasure was from Depeche Mode. So someone who is a true fan with Erasure. I'm a huge Vince Clarke fan also. And I actually saw them open for Duran Duran, and I was into keyboards because I used to play synthesizers when I was younger. And younger. And I noticed, right. And I had never heard of Erasure, and I saw Vince Clarke, and I'm thinking, I know this guy. And sure enough, I found out it was Vince Clarke who started Depeche Mode. After one album he left, he did Yaz, and then eventually he formed Erasure back in 1985. So he's been around. They've been around for a long time. I had no idea what you're doing.
I couldn't find my water.
Gail said, happy to meet the two of you. Derek's lovely mom. Kevin and Frank from Cruising with Wills. Katie Burr said her favorites are The Cure, Depeche Mode, and Erasure, which was a lot of my favorites.
I was looking for music from The Cure, and they didn't have any. There was one song I was looking for, and they didn't have it.
I didn't even think about looking them up.
For the karaoke.
Yeah.
You got to do the rope course.
Yes.
I put my right foot in.
He was just about to
get my right foot out, and I didn't shake it all about.
They were about to. He was about to get strapped on, and they said,
"They don't strap you on. You go into a harness." And I put my right foot through, and then they said everybody has to get down. They were blowing their whistles because it got too windy.
Yeah, they were shouting like wind speeds up there, 35, 36.
They were.
And yeah, they were. And I think Jen was on there when they told her to get off one time.
But Derek and Dave had a fun time. I was videotaping them. So you go through this, what's it called? Zip line a little bit.
Yeah.
And you just go over the concrete of
they have
ship.
Other side of it, though. They have another zip line there.
Oh, you didn't get to do that one?
No, I didn't get to do that one. But that was also very cool. What other thoughts that you want to say? The shows. What did you think of the shows on the Escape?
The Choir of Men was by far the better show than After Midnight. There was one part in After Midnight. I knew what they were trying to do with their like showing her range and stuff. It was just slow and boring, and it almost sounded like she was wailing or she was in pain or something. And then it like picked up. The the one lady on that show was like the star of the show. She was pretty good, and then she was going to have her own show that Friday, which we missed. But Choir of Men was by far the better show. We actually got the soundtrack to it, and we got a mug from it. And they're supposed to go on tour, I guess. I don't know if that was just part of the show or if they're actually going on tour. But I did actually speak with one of the cast members. They were eating, and I just went up and said, "You're from the Choir of Men, right?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "It was an awesome show or good job or something like that." So it was a fun show.
The cool thing is on that is at the beginning of it, before they start, they invite people to come up,
free beer,
and give you. There's a guy from one of the cast members. He's pulling down one of the draft beers and he's pouring you one on there. And then when we were up there, they said, "Hang around, sit up there."
I thought we were gonna be part of the show.
So we sat up there.
It tastes like root beer, but it was actually alcoholic root beer. I guess.
I'm not sure if it was Newcastle or not, but to me it tasted more like Guinness. But it came from a whatever you call those things, one that said Newcastle on it, but there was no option. A spout. There you go. But it was fun. It was fun to. That was a good show, and they just basically sang. It was a story twisted around songs, some kind of modern songs that they ended up singing on it. So it was good. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this, Greg. Did you overpack?
No, I don't think I did. I'm on the no. I didn't overpack. And actually, I was only about at 43 pounds, I think, because your weight limit for your luggage is 50. And actually, I ended up breaking off one of my zippers. The things that you pull to open the zipper, they broke the thing off.
No,
and it was like all bent out and everything.
I thought you meant on your pants.
No, I just noticed. Yeah, I forgot to tell you. But oh yeah. We didn't tell you what happened on the way home with the plane. The first plane was from New York to Chicago, and that was delayed like an hour, I think.
Well, it even started before that. We took the shuttle that we booked on the ship, and this was very interesting. I called Norwegian a few days before we left, like 6 days before, and I said I wanted to book the shuttle, which was $35. I didn't want to deal with looking for an Uber, finding a spot. So I thought getting the NCL shuttle was the best way to go. When I called them, they said, okay, it's going to be more than $35 because for some reason it was going to adjust the cost of the cruise because they added into the total, and your trip insurance goes up based on the cost of the cruise. So it now became an additional $55 for it, which I thought was interesting. So she recommended, while we were on the ship before, obviously, the final day, to go down to guest services and ask them that you want to go on the shuttle, which we then only paid $35. So we did that. But what the confusion was, it was fine getting on the bus. We didn't have
he didn't know where to go.
Technically, yeah, but he was told to go. We went to LaGuardia, which is a construction zone nightmare. He was told to go to Terminal A, and then from there we would have to get into a shuttle bus to go to the other terminal. In his
Terminal
mind,
C, I think, which was way out yonder.
In his mind, he goes, "I'm not going to take you there because you can walk to the other one." So he took us to Terminal D. After he unloaded everyone's luggage, one of the people on the dock said, or the airport said, "No, bad. you have a long walk to go because most people were on American and United."
The passenger was mad though.
And so one of the passengers was chewing out the driver, saying, "What are you doing? You dropped us in a spot where now we have to walk a long way."
Yeah.
And it might have not been bad, but my mom walks about a quarter speed because she doesn't have a good knee, and it wore her out. So I was also carrying her big luggage and my big luggage and about a 50-pound backpack, hiking from Terminal D to C or B,
and then we had to take with another bag, and I was way up ahead to try to keep up with them
because they were leaving us.
I kept looking at you guys to make sure that you were keeping up with me,
and then we had to get on a bus shuttle to go into the port, or to the one we were supposed to, and then we were too early. So we couldn't get our luggage tags.
It had to be at least 4
4
hours. So we had to
hours.
wait like 40-something minutes. So we had lunch at Five Guys. That was like how much?
$50 basically, $49.
Yeah.
For
that
3
was, like,
burgers,
Cholesterol
2
City.
sodas, a bottle of water, and 3 small French fries was $49. So then we went. I got the luggage
At the
tags,
airport.
and I realized now that I left my debit card because it was a self check-in, and you put your debit card or your credit card in there, and I left it there, and I didn't realize it until I got home that I actually left it in the machine.
Then we got on the plane
with a delay,
and there was like 6 planes behind us. When we finally turned around and took off, I was taking video of it and counted like at least 6 planes. I think
there was more than that,
6 or 12. And then when we got to Chicago, and on that plane there was a crying baby, poor thing, and his mom couldn't take it after a while. And then on the second plane from Chicago to Fresno, we had another delay where we had to like go way out, taxi way out, and then finally take off. And that was like an hour at least of being late. And then when his mom said, as long as there's not a crying baby in the front or something like that, and you said
in the back or the front.
Yeah, and you said, what about the side? And
yeah,
sure enough, on her right side, here comes a baby, and she goes, oh God. And that baby, she had a set of lungs. She was crying for a while, and she finally got to sleep. But what are you gonna do? I mean, you have to tune it out.
Yeah. But did you mention they changed their gates at in Chicago? So we had a gate which was close, and then ended up being in a completely different concourse. So once again, we're dragging our luggage. Although at that point we didn't have our big luggage because that was going on the plane already.
Oh, but wait, there's more. The luggage is coming up. So we didn't have a luggage issue when we were going to the cruise like the last time. But when we got to Fresno, they couldn't get our luggage out of the plane.
Well, that was in before that. We went to gate 15.
Oh yeah.
And the tunnels that they hooked to the plane, we arrived at 10:55 at night. 10:55. We were supposed to arrive at 10:10. That's how much we were delayed in all of our flights. So 10:55 at night, and they couldn't. Everyone stood up. They were getting their luggage down. We were all ready to go for the doors to open. They said we were waiting for a mechanic. We can't get the doors attached. So then they ended up moving.
The accordion tunnel thing wouldn't come out.
So then they ended up moving the plane with those little kind of go-karts things that like the trams, and they made everybody put their luggage up,
and
close everything, seatbelts on, so we were safe. And then they moved us to the right terminal. That whole process took us 30 minutes.
It didn't seem that long.
Well, because we were waiting for it to, to see if they were open it. And then
we got out.
So we're waiting like a long time. Fresno's not a big airport.
The luggage compartment on the plane, we ended up finding out that it was stuck. And they had to try to figure out how to open it to get everybody's luggage out. So we didn't get home until after midnight.
Well, we were in Fresno after 10:55, an hour and a half in Fresno, trying to get out of that airport. We didn't get home until 1 a.m., which Eastern time would have been 4 a.m. So we were wiped out that next day. And
I said, couldn't they just break open the luggage thing on the ship or on the plane and fix it later? Dennis Agazi, back to the ship. Did you hang out on their promenade deck boardwalk?
They had
a waterfront.
Yeah, they now the Bliss has a observation lounge, which is at the front, but they don't have that on the Escape. They have rooms in that spot, whereas the Bliss, they had the observation lounge, but they do have the waterfront, which is on deck 8, and it's basically a promenade that has restaurants, it has bars, it has like the dulce ice cream kind of thing, but it's whatever that thing is called, the Italian ice cream. And they had chairs that you could sit out on them.
Thank you, Cruising Wheels.
But they have that on deck 8, and we did at times take advantage of that. I would say a lot of times we spent in the room, and one of the things that we wanted to see, we were excited on the last day, the last sea day, the full day.
Oh yeah.
We saw first whales that we think were.
twice.
I don't know if
in
they
the
were
same
humpbacks,
day.
but they were larger whales.
Well, the first ones looked like humpbacks. The second ones were orcas because you could see the white circle along the side because it came right up out of the water. And you actually got, I think, better pictures than I did or video than I did.
And then the second
Those are
one,
my favorite
about
whales,
2.5, 3 hours later, we saw some more whales. And then one was pretty close to the ship.
Well, that was the orcas.
And that was where you saw the white on it. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
No, it's
looking at
okay.
the comments. So we were excited that we saw killer whales as well as other whales on it. The only one I wish I would have seen was a beluga because that's my favorite whale. I was hoping up in Canada that we would have seen a beluga whale. But overall, Greg,
All in all, it was an awesome trip.
awesome.
And we weren't trying to make it over dramatized or anything with the whole plane thing. It's just that's what happened. And
it didn't ruin our trip.
No, you just kind of went with it. I mean, what are you gonna do?
I don't blame.
They were still nice to everybody, and on the plane they were nice to us and everything. So they knew we were being patient.
Erica's insights there. I don't know if we said hello.
Who? Oh, they just came on. Welcome.
We had I'm sorry, I was looking at some of the comments here. We were able to move our flight from 8 to 5 home by 7:30. Oh, cool, because I know Gail said they had a long wait until their cruise that was going on, or their flight that was going on. But we don't blame NCL for the issues that we had with the shuttle because you never really know. Gail said they were dropped off at a different terminal, so I guess it was just based on the driver. Maybe the driver was confused on it. And it's just one of those things that we were tired, though. We wanted to go home. But I'd rather have it happen on our way home than when we were going to the cruise port like it happened to us before.
In Erica's insights, you do need to go on a cruise. Recommendations, I would recommend, well, Disney, because I love the Disney cruises. I think the Disney Dream Cruise is my favorite, and then this one comes pretty close to right behind it. So, but if you're going to do a cruise, I would recommend a 7-day cruise at least, not a 4 or 3-day cruise. Do a 7-day cruise to really take everything in. We did a 3-day cruise on the Disney Dream, and that was like dipping your toe in water. We wanted more, and it was already over once we got used to it. So I would say 7-day, wouldn't you?
7-day. And I would actually say this was my best cruise, favorite cruise ever.
Oh, Cruising with Will says they need a cruise. So glad there are only 109 more days. You just got done with a cruise. What are you talking about?
We are, though. After this show's over, we are going to book. We already have it booked. We're making our final payment.
Pay it off,
on
basically.
Our next cruise, which is a Disney Fantasy.
We're going to pay for it. We haven't paid it really anything on
it.
Yeah,
we have the deposit in there.
Yeah.
But, the Disney Fantasy, which is the...
Did you say the Disney Fanny?
Fantasy, which is February 1st.
That's a new Disney cruise ship.
It is
Disney Fanny.
Star Wars cruise that will be paid for. So our cruise blues will be taken care of when we're done with that. So
yeah, we've been putting this one off for a while. We kept having to change it for different reasons and things that were going on, but we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna do it, and we're gonna have fun.
To answer your question, yes, longer cruises are better. If you can do it, at least a 5 would be the least. Well, you asked me if I.
Oh yeah.
Cruise. I would say that too. 3s and 4s are too short.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're trying to get your points up, it depends what cruise line. Because like on Disney, even if you went on a 2-night cruise, it's gonna bump you up the membership levels. I know on some of them it matters by day, how many days you are selling for your level points to bump up.
Oh, speaking of that, he had a blue card. I had a orange or green card or something like that. Not a green card. It doesn't sound right. It was the yellow one.
The card.
And yeah, and we both did 2 Norwegians. So you had a blue, I had a yellow. So I went and told them, and they bumped me up to the blue. And I mean, it does make a difference because it shows you where you're at and where, your grade of how many cruises, which tells you, what perks you might be getting and stuff. So I wanted to make sure that I got that fixed. So you could definitely do that if that ever happens to you.
The Cruising with Wills, they have a group cruise that is coming up, and I believe they said they have 125 people on it booked.
That might be staterooms. People, wow,
that's insane. So if there's anyone up to that task, they can definitely do it. I believe that's on the NCL Encore, which we will be in 2021. But yeah, we have a group cruise next year in September 2020, and we don't have 125 people. We can tell you that.
Well,
we only have 15 staterooms reserved for us anyway. We want to do a smaller one.
Yeah,
and it's not 125.
And whoever wants to go can go, and if it ends up being us, then we'll have fun, either way. But we would love to have people join us too.
Definitely. All right, Greg. Anything else that you want to add on to this?
No, I think we went over everything, and then you'll see all of our adventures on our upcoming vlog. So we're excited for that, and just thank you everybody for their support. And I think we forgot to say anyone that was a creator.
We did
put creator in the chat and let everybody know that you make videos and content and share your content. You didn't fail. We're just doing it at the end of the show. So, but thank you everybody for joining us. I know we went a little bit over. It's almost an hour and a half show, but I think it's worth it to go over the trip.
Dina Cruising Through Life. So, Dina, I think you were on that show, but if you didn't, you were our number 23 Spotlight channel, Dina Cruising Through Life. So, I believe that was the one we did last week when we were acting like we were doing a current one.
Mm-hmm.
But she asked, what are the details of our cruise? It is on the largest ship in the world, Symphony of the Seas. I believe it's September 26th. It is going out of Miami, and we are going to St. Thomas, St. Martin, and a great day at Coco Cay.
So isn't there a Facebook page for it too?
We have, but those are for the people who are signed up for the cruise that are able to do it. I don't think anyone can get access for it. But we
without
can
signing up for it. You mean
in the comments on any of our videos, you will see our email, which is the Disney Explorers 17@gmail.com. You can ask more information on it, and we can send you that stuff on there. But it is, if you go solo, the cost is double because these are costs per person per double occupancy. So it is a little bit different price, but by us doing our group cruise, we figured if we didn't do it, we are going to save anywhere from $400 to $500 by doing a group cruise with the cost, because they do it differently. They don't have all these promos. They just give you a group cost rate. So for us, we're saving about $400, $500. So it kind of depends what category, what room you guys are going into. So we chose a cruise that we wanted to go on. We were thinking about going up on with a lot of other YouTubers, but we wanted to kind of go our own way. And since we just came off the Canadian cruise, we wanted to go back to the Caribbean and go out of Miami.
And do that big ship. The biggest ship so far.
Yep. And if you guys don't know, the Disney Nerd Herders, they go on right before us. So they're our warm-up show is what they said. So yeah, if you guys haven't checked them out, check out our support channels and all the people that are in here. If you have channels, RobFuz, Pepper Tree Villa, Dina Cruising Through Life, Cargo 619. I can keep going down the list of all these great channels that are in here. More sunshine, please. Yeah, more sunshine, please. And
Bob and Ashley,
Cruising with Wills.
Here, but they were here earlier.
And my Sea Rocks. So thanks again, guys. I think that's about it. Our show for next week will not be a cruise one. We are going to go back to
It'll be Disney. And since it's Halloween, October, we might have a little bit of Halloween magic going on too.
Yeah. This is like wow, this isn't like our normal setup. It's all messy back there. But we've been on a cruise. What can you say?
Everybody have a good night, and thank you again. And we look forward to sharing our adventures coming up soon. And as Walt Disney always says,
you should add your links to the email. Yes. We normally do, Frank or Kevin. He asked that we should put the links before that, but I was a little bit, because of my work schedule and just diving right back into work, I didn't have a chance to fill out what I normally do, but I agree. We normally try to do that. All right, guys. Thank you, Rob, for the belated. Greg, sorry, what was that?
As Walt Disney always says,
we are just getting started. Until
Everybody
next time,
have a
explorers.
good night. Dilly dilly.
Bon voyage.
Full steam ahead.
Konnichiwa.
Have a good night.
See you guys. Thank you so much
Bye.
for joining us.
Bye-bye.